All right, good morning. So it is Tuesday, December 15th. We are still continuing with the question, how does the human body respond to stress? Our learning target for today is I can explain how chronic stress can affect the health of humans and develop a plan to prevent it. And then you have all your vocab words over here. Let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is some vocab stems specifically. So autonomic. Okay, what is autonomic? That is what you're going to think about. And then what is the purpose of stress? And then end goal of stress response is to return to what? And then after you do that, we have autonomic means self-control, which is your nervous system. And then the purpose of stress is to induce a fight or flight response of the body, which prepares you to respond to danger. It sends energy towards your muscles and other things to help with danger. So remember, it is a defense mechanism. And then the end goal of stress is to return to homeostasis, which is, remember, our same balanced state of being. And then autonomic nervous system, ANS, is the part of your body or nervous system specifically that automatically responds to different things. And then it helps with digestion, heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, all those things are ANS. And then SNS, or sympathetic nervous system, is the part of your nervous system that responds to stressful situations. So think about S, it starts with an S, so does stress. So it induces our fight or flight response. And then the parasympathetic nervous system, or PNS, stands for our body starting to slow down functions and activate for you to relax. And it's called rest and digest. So you can also think about parasympathetic, think about positive things. So resting and like being able to digest are all positive things. Stress is not so positive. And then our bodies are very, very complex and they have complex functions. So living things or organisms like animals and multicellular life are made of many interacting parts. So what do we call these parts? Organisms are made of cells, tissues, and organs. And many organs doing similar jobs are called organ systems. So we're actually going to be talking about different organ systems today. Okay, so here's kind of like how things develop within our bodies. We start with the atom, becomes molecule, macromolecules, organelles, cells develop into tissue, then to organs develop into organ systems, which then becomes organisms, or in this instance, the human body. You're not going to do this if you're not on chat, but these are all of the different types of organ systems. You can see that there are a lot of them. Yeah. So what does the body do to respond? What body parts are most involved in bringing on the changes you feel? So the hypothalamus, which is this area right here of the brain, is a structure that directs crucial life functions like eating, drinking, body temperature. It sends the command to the other systems in your body, particularly the endocrine system. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. But the nervous system receptors are picking up on dangers in the environment and sending messages to the hypothalamus, aka the control center. So if you remember last week when we were talking about homeostasis, we had the receptors, right, where they noticed the stimulus that was induced in the environment, and that is all part of the nervous system. Okay. So endocrine system specifically is a system of the body made of glands that control the body's activities by producing hormones. Okay, hormones are chemicals produced by your glands that regulate the activities of different body cells. And then stress hormones are epinephrine, which you might have heard of, like EpiPens. Okay, norepinephrine and cortisol. So there are two different options you have to study the endocrine system. So you first can read a few paragraphs on the third page of the Science of Stress. The other thing that you can do is watch this video called The Physiology of Stress, which breaks down the whole aspect of stress in about 2 minutes. Is a pretty quick crash course. And then what is the role of the endocrine system in the body stress response? Okay, that is refined question number 3, and that's what you're going to be answering using one of these 2 different resources. You're not going to do that. And so biggest thing to note is that stress is a whole body response. You have your parasympathetic system, so PNS, okay, all of these different things, and your sympathetic system, okay, SNS. So what we are going to do next, or you specifically, is that you have these 6 different types of organ systems. You are going to pick one of them, whichever one you want to learn a little bit more about in its response to stress in general. So after you pick that one, okay, you're going to continue reading the article into stopping point number 3. Okay, you're going to complete refined task number 4. And then the biggest thing you need to do is you need to identify and describe the system you chose. Use resource pages 3 to 4 to get background on the system. And then identify 1 to 2 actions of the system that would occur during both sympathetic and parasympathetic responses. Okay, again, the link is posted twice. Make sure that you also put it in your EQ tracker. And for today, with that, you also have in Google Classroom, number 3, Tuesday's check-in, where you're answering that. So first, here's the article, okay, right, that tells you about the physiology of the flight or fight response. And then you have the resource page that has all the different information on the ANS model. And then once you go to Google Classroom, it is number 3 right here, where it tells you exactly what you need to answer, which is just the same thing from the slides. I also linked the resource page in there as well if you need it. And then going back to our slides. Okay, so we talked about that. And then for applied learning, don't turn on your trackers yet. Finish reading the article into stopping point number 3. Fill out vocab in your EQ tracker. Answer and complete refined questions 1 through 4. And then applied learning for Wednesday. So these are not posted until tomorrow, but there's going to be, as always, a check-in question of the week. And then make sure you are signed up for a project and begin researching tasks 1 through 2. And I will release information on the research tracker tomorrow and what that actually means. All right, that's all.